Hello, this is Joel Floyd. The topic of my presentation is the Congolese Rumba, which later came to be called Soukous. It describes a particular kind of urban dance music popular in Central Africa in the 1950s to the 1980s. And what is notable about this type of music is the guitar playing. I'm going to cover several different artists that will kind of define the evolution of this form of music. It started in the Democratic Republic of Congo, formerly called Zaire, and it has an interesting origin and evolution. It's ironic that the music from Cuba, we covered in a previous class, the rumba, was a form of celebratory movement developed by African slaves there and was handed down, later influencing popular music in the 1930s America, was recorded and then sent back across the Atlantic, ended up in Africa, and influenced the development of this new music in the mid 20th century. I first learned about this music in the 1980s while living in Los Angeles. There was a local radio station, a public radio station called KCRW, which is still in existence. And at that time, they had several DJs who were really into reggae and African music. And they promoted many artists who were touring the country from Africa in concerts. And I attended several of these, not just Soukous, but many other styles. So where are we talking about? In Africa, the Democratic Republic of Congo is in Central Africa. It is the second largest country on the continent. It was conquered by Belgian King Leopold in the 1870s and became the Belgian Congo. Independence came in 1960, followed by a civil war. Mobutu Sese Seko seized power in 1971 and renamed the country Zaire. Mobutu was an ultra-nationalist dictator who ruled until 1997, when he was ousted by rebels and Laurent Kabila became president. The country's name was changed at that time to its current name. More civil war ensued, and they held their first free elections in 40 years, with Joseph Kabila becoming president in 2016. There are over 200 native languages spoken in the Republic of Congo, with Swahili, Kiluba, Lingala, and Congo being national tribal languages, and French the official language of commerce. This country is surrounded by the Central African Republic, Sudan, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, Zambia, Angola, and the Republic of Congo, which is not to be confused with the country we're talking about, the Democratic Republic of Congo, where the capital is Kinshasa, and it's on the Congo River. It used to be called Leopoldville during colonial rule. Kinshasa is where Congolese rumba started and flourished, mostly during Mobutu's rule. So the historical influences in the developing of this type of music were made possible by the importation of the guitar by Portuguese mariners. Also, palm wine was an alcoholic drink made from fermented palm hearts and drank from hollowed, dried out gourds. In seaside taverns, the guitar is accompanied by singing and drumming, and with the simple strumming of two fingers picking with a thumb and forefinger on these acoustic guitars. The style was prominent in Ghana, Nigeria, and other West African countries, and would eventually evolve into juju music and later high life, which could be the subject of a whole nother talk. The guitar player, Jimmy the Hawaiian, his real name was Zachary Elenga, gained this nickname, Jimmy the Hawaiian, and who became popular in the 1940s. The spelling is not a typo. He tuned his guitar uniquely, replacing the D string with an E string. The style is not strictly Hawaiian, but apparently it sounded exotic to Africans, and so he stayed with that name. Other historical influences, as I mentioned before, Afro-Cuban rumba developed in Cuba became popular in the Americas and was recorded on records, mainly for dance bands. And these records were exported to Europe and made their way into Africa, and they were sold in stores. Also, they were played on the radio in a 24/7 broadcast. And when television developed, they had dance shows similar to American Bandstand here that had rumba music. So one of the earliest players of the specialized guitar for this type of music was Jean Bosco Moenga. And he was very young when he wrote this song, Masanga. And it was very popular. It was recorded, and he also performed it in many other African countries, influencing guitar playing in those countries. It was even picked up by US folk singer Pete Seeger. I'm going to play a clip of it here. Dr. Nico was also very popular, and he was the one who incorporated the electric guitar. This became the signature of Congolese rumba. Dr. Nico and his brother were considered pioneers of the style, and with his sound, he used a lot of reverb and electronic echo delay. He played a hollow-bodied Gibson guitar and later a Fender Jam Master. Sometimes he also played a lap steel guitar. He plays in a diatonic style with variation in major key changes.
Il a appris la science de la guitare. Voici le docteur Kasanda Wamikalai.
Franco, who he just went by his first name, he was very popular, and he's also known for developing many of the methods we hear now in Congolese rumba. He developed the all-powerful or the almighty OK jazz band, and he used harmonizing vocals, as many as 3 lead guitars, bass guitar, saxophone, and trumpets. He had dancers, he had drums, and other percussion. This is a televised broadcast that shows the size of his band and their arrangements. These sets played on stage in dance halls could go on for 30 minutes. On records, they would take up one side of the record. And this first song is on the recording. This television show is called Oko Regretter Nayaj Mama. And I know I murdered the pronunciation. It's sung in Lingala, And I don't know what it means, but it was written by Samaro Macia, who wrote many lyrics for songs, some of which were considered obscene, and he was jailed by Mobutu for a time because of that. This picture you see in the beginning of the video is Franco. It's going to start with his backup singer singing amazing harmonies.
Nalingi yo mingi kasi moteme découragé. Na juge totika kaka pardon. Na tonton kombo nanga ovangile ina nzoto nzambe yo. Bolingo zokisi ngai. Bolingo zokisi ngai tokoki kovanda kasi na motema souvenir ya mabe yo. Na bomba date na komba na agenda okomie pembe.
Okay, I'm going to pick a different section here. That's Franco there. Well, you can see it's very high energy, and everybody is dressed to the nines, and it's a really infectious beat, and it's really fun to watch. I actually did see this group. This is who I saw in 1984 in Los Angeles, Rochereau, Taboulet, they call him, and his wife, Billy Abel, who he discovered. She became the first female Soukous star. And I have a hard time picking out the best part here, but and it's not a great recording, but here goes. So when these tunes go on for 30 minutes, they keep building energy, and there's a lot of dancing. There's almost a sexual energy in some of the dancing, and this television program doesn't really capture it, but in the club that I saw them in, it was very high energy and this infecting rhythm. So the last person I'm going to talk about is Papa Wemba, and he actually started young and worked with Rochereau and learned a lot of his craft from him. So then he kind of brought this music more into the modern era, and he was super popular in Europe and all throughout Africa. He toured a lot, and then he died tragically, collapsing on stage in 2016 in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. But I'm going to play this kind of one of his music videos, and you get an idea of the popularity.
On y va. Toi de basse. Le poids lourd de la soirée. Guichaya Basson Motro. H2M. Le Sisabidimbu. Stone Kala le gourou. Keba na bafotette bakoti keba. Tchofa, il faut ça l'attention. Beaucoup sont appelés, peu sont élus. Cornélie Malonguisquin. Ah ouais! Satish Ngando, Joël Massela. Ilonga Mad in Japan. Nadine Mwadi. Coco du Coco. L'international. Dédé Kamunga.
One thing you'll notice is changing clothes. He was a real fashion horse, I guess. I mean, he was known for his fancy dress, and he influenced a lot of young African men, and dressing very dapper and with lots of colors and everything. So that's another one of his legacies. So that's really the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening. These are my references, and I would look forward to the discussions. All right, thanks a lot, everybody.